Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 14th day of July, 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders who are doing their best to save lives every day. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those that are helping the people that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create demands that cause these evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. First, before I get started, I want to address something. Yesterday, Stephen Bondi, I forgot what newspaper he works for, I forgot what it was. But anyway, he made a announcement that Jonas Valanciunas had signed a foreign contract with this team in Lithuania. Now, I very rarely believe anybody except for Ian Begley and Shams. But somebody came on my page and started saying, well, Jonas is out because he signed. And this is the BS that I don't like. I went and I looked up Jonas Valanciunas' free agency. And what I found from Yahoo Sports is that Jonas Valanciunas is still an unrestricted free agent, has cleared waivers, as we said he was going to do last Friday. But while he has a verbal agreement with the EuroLeague team Zalgiris Kaunas, he has not signed a contract and is still evaluating NBA free agent offers. So he's not off the table. My point being is that we're in a culture where everybody wants to have something first so that they can say, I called it. It's a big deal. So that people come out with false information in order to try to be the first to say something. It's kind of stupid, really, but it creates clickbait. Now, I don't know if Valanciunas is going to end up going to Lithuania or not, but he's not there yet. He hasn't signed a contract, okay? So there's a verbal agreement, but he's still evaluating free agent offers. And again, it comes down to valid information and people spreading invalid information. Don't be so quick to spread something so you can think you're the first one saying it. That is why after every game, if you notice, I do not do a post game right after the game. I'd like stuff to settle a little bit so I can come out with a reasonable analysis and good information. Not because I can say it first. What I've said first is stuff that's done 6 months in advance, a year in advance, like the OG Anunoby trade or the Karl Anthony Towns trade, a year in advance. Not because I could say it first, because we could see it coming based on everything happening at the time. So with this, a lot of people didn't want or don't want Valanciunas as the third string center. We're talking about the third string center. So really, Diabate would be the better backup center, and Andre Drummond would be a better third string center. But it's not the end of the world if Jonas Valanciunas comes to the Knicks on a vet minimum as a third string center. It's not the end of the world, okay? And of course, there's always way overreaction, especially on places like X, with people that are mentally unstable to bring something out, number one, because they could say it first, or just to make clickbait. So with regard to Jonas Valanciunas, we don't know yet. And I was waiting today. I had things to do, but I thought, let me wait and see if this is true, because how I would know it's true is Shams would say it or Ian Begley would say it. Then I'd know it was true. But as it turns out, Stephen Bondi was half right. He has a verbal agreement, but he hasn't signed a contract because he's still looking at free agent offers. And why would he be doing that? We talked about this last week. There's two ways Valanciunas could go. He's probably not going to get more than the minimum contract from any team right now because the money's drying up. And then there's a lot of people waiting for LeBron to make his decision. Another drama that's unnecessary. But once he does, you're going to see a lot of dominoes fall, because there are teams that are trying to get LeBron to sign on the dotted line, and then based on he signing on that dotted line, that would change the outlook for other free agents. So that's why it is a little holder. But once he signs, you're going to see a domino effect. But why would Valanciunas be waiting now? His choice is twofold. He could try to win a championship now. And if the Knicks are interested in him, the Knicks are championship contenders and defending championship team. See, when he went to Denver, Denver had won a championship, and he was hoping maybe to be a role in another championship. Same would be here. So it's not uncommon for older veteran guys to try to hang on as long as they can to see if they can win a championship. I mean, Gary Payton did it with the Miami Heat. He had played his whole career in Seattle, and then he went to the Heat at the end of his career when he wasn't really the Gary Payton that Seattle drafted, but he was trying to get a chip, and he did. Okay, the same time when Detroit won the chip, Karl Malone has spent all his time in Utah. His prime was in Utah. So he joins LA with Kobe and them to think he could win a chip. Of course, they lost to Detroit, but that's the point. Jonas has a choice. He can go back home to Lithuania, and I don't know how much the verbal agreement is with, and he can make his money there and finish his career there, never having won a chip, and that's his choice. Or he can try to latch on with a team like the Knicks, the defending champion, or a team like OKC, or whatever team is in the running for a chip on a vet men to see if he can get a chip. There's nothing wrong with that. And of course, with coming behind the Joker, there's nothing wrong with that. I think he might have bit off a little bit too much than he can chew, being that he's not the Jonas Valanciunas of 5 years ago. So a third string center situation where he might have to play 5 to 8 minutes a game is perfect for him at this stage, and he can still play a role as a veteran on the Knicks. So we'll see how this works out. The second thing is, one of the things that a lot of people that wants to be first don't do, that I will do, is I will admit if I'm wrong about something. See, there's a lot of people that's waiting for me to say I'm wrong about something when they're misinterpreting what I said, and I won't say I'm wrong if I didn't say what they're claiming I did. I was telling y'all that on the summer league team, right, there's a whole bunch of guys that ain't gonna be in the league, and 4 guys that are, okay? And I named the 4: Kayil, Nickel, then of course there was Diawara and Diabate. And the reason I said this because they're all like Diabate and Diawara are under contract, so they're on the team. And then of course Nickel and Kayil are the most recent draft picks of the Knicks. So you would think, they're going to be the 4. But then yesterday, Diawara didn't play, Diabate didn't play, supposedly some minor injuries or whatever. But I was impressed with this boy, Liam Robbins. And the reason I was is what I noticed yesterday, and I was not high on him. Some guy kept telling me, well, he's got a lot of potential. I wasn't buying it because most of them don't. And I talked about why with regard to 7-footers. But what this guy impressed me with yesterday was, number one, sometimes guys play better when they have a point guard, especially big guys, okay? The Knicks started Jack Kayil yesterday. And in this summer league, I know Dylan Jones is playing point guard. Kayil is better. It's not like he's going to be better. He's better now, okay? Just like last summer, I was saying that it's not like Diawara needs to learn how to play NBA defense. He already knew last summer. And that's what got him on the court. Kayil is solid, under control, nice passer. His footwork is good. It's very good. It's not Jalen Brunson, but who is? But his footwork is very good, okay? It's good enough for the league. And the Knicks got decisions to make because these 2 kids, Tyler and Kayil, they're not going to be in the rotation, but are they going to be on the roster? Kayil came over here talking about he ain't going back to Germany. And the Knicks at first said, yo, yes, you are. But now I think homeboy's playing good enough that I think they should consider offering him a 2-way contract because he's good enough. Okay, he's got. I'm not saying he's polished. I'm not saying he's a finished product now, but he's good enough to stay with this organization, not go back and play him in the G League. Okay. As far as the Knicks guard rotation, Kayil would be a point guard. So at the point guard spot for the Knicks, you start in Jalen Brunson. You have also Jose Alvarado. Okay, Deuce can play the point, but he's a combo guard. Kyle is more of a natural point guard. And then, of course, you still have Tyler Kolek, who's a pure point guard. So you got 3 point guards already. Now, it's still possible that Tyler Kolek could be traded because he's good enough to really be in somebody's rotation, especially Charlotte. And if a trade took place to get Diabate in New York, I can see why they might keep a Kayil, because now you're losing a point guard in Kolek, but you're gaining a guy in Kayil. Kayil's still a rookie. Even in some league, he's making some stupid mistakes, but that's what you get with rookies. That's why I don't like to depend on rookies to win a chip. They're rookies. They're going to make mistakes. It's part of their development. But you don't want those mistakes, those rookie mistakes, to show up when you're in the playoffs against Detroit, Cleveland, or you're in the finals against San Antonio. You don't want them. In fact, looking at it, it was the youth of San Antonio, the bad pass by Victor Wembanyama to the back of his teammate that caused the Knicks Brunson to get the ball. It was, even though De'Aaron Fox should have known better, trying to get a layup on OG at the end and gets blocked. That was a mistake that a guy's make. Not really a rookie mistake, but a mistake of a guy has not been in finals before and not been under that pressure before. And things like this. So you don't want rookies out there because they can't help but make mistakes. You don't want that on a situation where you don't need no mistakes. Okay, so that's why I don't like rookies in the rotation for a championship team. And many people don't understand that. And they're always last year even calling for rookies to be in the rotation. No, BYU wasn't going to be in the rotation last year. We're trying to win the chip. This year, I'm just wondering if Kyle or Nickel could be not in the rotation, but just on the team where they can get some reps. And maybe during the course of the year, you throw them in there a couple times, let them get their feet wet. So that way, by the time you're talking about next season, they might be ready, okay? But that was good. So Liam Robbins looked a lot better with Kayil running point. In fact, the whole team looked better with Kayil running point, okay? Jones looked better, I think, because he was out there with Kayil a lot. Jones hadn't looked too good prior to that. Okay. Yes, he's been on championship teams, but some guys just happen to be on championship teams. Not really contributing, but on the roster. And that's Jones, both OKC and New York. But as far as a championship player, I don't know. But Kayil, the team functioned much better with Kayil out there. Then there was this cat, Osiah Sellers, who was really, and that's what I'm saying, in the summer, the guys you're watching are trying to make any roster. See, even though they're playing on the Knicks Summer League, they're really trying out for 30 teams. And they're trying out. So Robbins played much better with Kayil out there. Okay, he was much more aggressive, much more in the right spots, and he was actually running a little bit more than he had before. I don't know, maybe he didn't think he was going to get the ball before, but he knew he is now. And then Nickel and him went to the same school. Like, I don't know if they played together, but Nickel come out of Vanderbilt. They're going to a million schools, and then Robbins come out of Vanderbilt. So there's that too. So I still wouldn't say I want Robbins as my third string center. No. But maybe a two-way contract. But then again, I really favor Trey Jemison III because he was on the squad this past year. He's worked really hard. And if I had to choose, I'm choosing Jemison because he's already on my team, right? So we'll see. The Knicks have a decision to make. But because it's quiet doesn't mean nothing's happening. When you don't hear about Jonas signing a contract, if he's still thinking, that means the Don is still on the phone. If you don't hear Charlotte say we're not interested in trading Diabate, just like Jamal Mosley made it known, they're not trading Misi. And so did Joe Dumars. That done. Okay, when they make that known, done. You have not heard that yet from Charlotte about Diabate. We have not heard that yet. So we will see. At this stage, until Begley or Shams or somebody from the organization comes out and says it, anything could happen. They could still get Diabate. Trey Jemison could still be on the team, or maybe not. We still don't even know about Kevin McCullough still. We don't even know. We haven't heard anything. So until something is official, nothing has happened yet. Okay? So we're still waiting. We're in wait mode. And because fans are impatient, period, they can't be patient enough to wait for the news to come out. They got to make sure they're first to say something, So let's just wait. Okay? The Don knows what he's doing. He's going to get us a third string center, whether it's Drummond or whether it's Jonas or whatever, or Jemison. And I'm hoping that these two young dudes, Nickel and Kayil, stay in New York, either on two-way contracts. I wouldn't mind Nickel being the 15th guy. And the reason is because he's going to be like 23, I think, in September or something. And I think because he's older, practicing with the champs is going to help him a lot in his development. We know the boy could shoot. We know he tries really hard. His defensive technique is good. He's a little foot slow defensively, but I think he can make it. Okay, I think he can make it. So if that comes to pass, if he becomes eventually a shooter, a Shamet-style shooter off the bench, we just keep rolling. But kudos to Walt Perrin. I mean, kudos. Championship teams start with championship front offices. When you got a guy picking second rounders that could be first rounders in Walt Perrin, you got a jewel right there. So Nickel and Kayil, homeboy, done struck again. Now, Leon Robbins, I don't know if he'll be on the Knicks, but maybe he'll win a contract somewhere else or a two-way deal with somebody else. He was talking about playing Knicks basketball and everything yesterday. So we'll see how this works out. But it's good to see dudes like him working so hard to try to get a roster spot. That means they care. They know what's on the line. They're going after it. So that was good. Leon Robbins was working his tail off. I give him his props. I wasn't giving it to him before, but I give him his props now. Outside of that, they got one more game on Thursday, the last game of the Summer League, sadly. And, we'll see if DOR and Daddy A play. Daddy A has a $5 million team option in October. So the Knicks have a decision to make on him with respect to his contract. Right now, he's coming into $3 million, about $2.9 million for this season. At the end of this season, if they exercise the October option, that means next year, not this year, but next year, he gets $5 million. So that is why I say Daddy A is a trade candidate along with Tyler Kolek. But we'll see how that works out. We still have to wait and see, but I'm very confident that Don's going to make the right move. The Knicks already have, as we speak, 13 players under contract that's on the squad. We got 2 more spaces, plus some two-way space. So we'll see how this works out. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. The Knicks are really on the right track. It's like down to a science right now, and we got the right scientists. So let's keep watching and see what happens. But the Knicks going to be all right, regardless. They're going to be all right. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. We'll talk soon. Sure.